through the side door screen. Old Jeep's hood up, old familiar scene. Perk pipe singing on the bench by the vise. Quiet summer evening, feels just right. Box and a wrench in my pocket, rusting the seam. Tap that fender like I know what it means. Black coffee bitter in a chipped up cup. One more bow tied and she's gonna wake up. Hear that screen door squeak, feel that warm night air. Ain't much better than a garage out.
Hey, patrol members, and welcome to Ran When Parked, the State of the Fleet address. Well, you're probably going to see this, hang on a second. This is an Odyssey Maduro. Okay, so this is a State of the Fleet address. I don't have a lot of battery, so it's not going to be very long. So I went out to the desert. And Mrs. Patrol calls me and says that her car stopped running. So she has a Volkswagen Golf. And she said she stopped the car, put it in park, stepped on the brake, pushed the start button, and started right up and got her home. Pardon me. So she was preparing to go up to see our daughter in Tach. So she loaded everything into my truck, because I was going to the desert with Kurt, and she took my truck. So I loaded all my stuff in the back of her car, because I'm going to test drive it and see what the problem was. I take off, hop up on the freeway, and the second I get off the freeway and turn left, it doesn't stop running, but it's like somebody slams on the brake, right? And the car comes to a real quick stop. Actually, it didn't stop. It slowed down to about 30 miles an hour from like 50. But then it wouldn't go over 40 miles an hour. So I got to Kurt's house, loaded my stuff in his truck. We went to the desert. You're going to see that video. And there's a new song called The Ballad of the Mojave Patrol. Really good, I think. Anyway, we go to the desert, come back, same day. Get back about 10 o'clock at night. Load everything in the back of my car. And I decided to drive home from his house on surface streets. Easy peasy. I'm on my way home. Turning left. In the middle of the intersection, the car stops running. Push the start button. Restarts. And I go home. Monday, I'm talking to the dealer. He's kind of like, well, bring it on in, but, you know. some kind of critters in my yard. Uh-oh. My security light come on. It's probably a cat or a possum or something. Anyway, so we ran it down to the dealer today, and the dealer called us and told us that the engine speed sensor was bad and it needed brakes. Grand total for everything, $1,550. It's not like I have a ton of money just to throw out of a car, but yeah, it has to be fixed, so we're getting it fixed. So Marlene follows me to the dealer, and then we run errands, right? We run errands. We go to AAA to figure out why, even though I pay for my tags on my car, they never show up in the mail. And I paid for them in March, and this is like June, and I still didn't have them. And while I went to register the Packard, the DMV has no record of that car existing. Well, we got that solved. Then we went to the Home Depot and we went to the supermarket, but I noticed that when I take off in the truck, you hear the motor rev up and then there's a click and then it goes, and you can hear the click from the back. So I'm thinking, do I have a bad U-joint or some weird thing going on with the rear end? So now I got to call the Chrysler dealer and say, hey, I'm having a problem with my truck. You know? But anyway, that's the state of the fleet. We're getting her car back on Thursday. And tomorrow, after the doctor's visit, I'm going to check out my truck. I'm driving my civil defense Jeep. It's one of the most reliable vehicles I've ever owned. I would say it is the 1, 2, 3 of all the cars I've had. It is the 4th highly reliable car. But anyway, that's the state of the fleet. So I'll let you know what happens to the Volkswagen, and I'm going to crawl under the truck myself and see if I can see what's going on with it when I get back from the doctor tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent. Until next time, guys. Later, Mater.
The next day.
Hey, patrol members. Thanks for joining me in this really short little part of Ran When Parked. I'm shortly going to start working on that Packard. I know I've said that for a long time. But I really am getting stuff ready to work on the Packard. So what I got coming up here is because I like old junk, right? I can't resist old junk. I was at a yard sale, and I found this old Tach and dwell meter and points tester. And unfortunately, the test cord was cut off. So I got some cord, and I'm going to fix it. So you're going to watch me fix it. But first, because I'm out here in the garage, if you hear any weird sounds or music in the background, the local high school is graduating. I'm going to choose a smoke. Because we're working on a car, I can't think of anything more apropos than a cigar called Diesel. Can I make the trash can? Yes. I put this away. Let me trim the tail. No. We're going to have to trim a little bit more. Anyway, I hope you, all my patrol members are doing well. I got a really nice comment from one of my patrol members on the desert trip video that came out this morning. Today is Wednesday. Ooh. Much better. Let's take off this little band. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm back. Let's light this thing up, huh? That's a good smoke. That's a good smoke. Okay, let's get into this. So a Tach and dwell meter for an automobile, for those of you who don't know what that is, a dwell meter is a device, electronic device, that helps you set the timing on your car. Especially if you have an older car that has points. And, man, this wire does not want... There we go. If your car has points, it allows a it allows you to set your accurate timing. And it has a tachometer, so when you're adjusting the RPM of your engine, you're going to hear people say you should never tighten the wires up with your fingers because it leaves oil on there. And you know what? They're probably correct. If I was fixing a radio or a television, that'd be one thing. But I'm not. I'm fixing an old Tach and dwell meter that I got at a yard sale for $1, and it's missing. It was missing its test cord. Now, believe it or not, this is the third time I found one of these devices that had the cord cut off. And I don't know why people do that. So let's get crack-a-lack in here. Okay. So these are shrink tubing with a piece of solder in the center. And they come in 1, 2, 3. They come in 4 sizes. And I'm going to take some regular shrink tubing. I hate doing this, but that's the only way to get to these. I'm going to take those. I have to stuff them all back in this bag, right? And one of these. I'll take one of these just in case. I'll put that back over there. And I shouldn't need any solder for this. All right, let's move these. These are for later. And we take our wire I'm going to wrap it together. And we'll take our little torch and we'll heat them up. I'm not supposed to solder that together. Oh, I messed this one up. That's not going to matter. So now that is soldered together. And it's still hot. I'm going to let that cool down for a minute. I don't think that'll work. This is what's going to work. There we go. Soldered back together. And we're going to put this back together. So it has got our new to us cord on it. But we need the other end. And that's where these come in. We're going to open this up a little bit. We're going to unsolder this oop. This soldering iron might not be hot enough. Oh, I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Boy, that does not want to come off there. Okay, I don't know what kind of solder that is, but if direct flame doesn't melt that, we're going to have to do something different. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Let's try this. Let me clean that. All right. Yeah, we need some flux. Okay, that seemed to work. I have this really old bottle of flux. And let me crimp that back the way it was supposed to be. Don't spill that flux. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it's an acid. And there's one, I have to clean this one up a little bit. I'll put the lid back on there before disaster strikes. Okay, so let's get this one cleaned up. I'm sure that there's plenty of electrical guys out there screaming at me, like, you're not doing that right. And you know what, you're absolutely correct. I'm probably not doing it right. But it just has to work. This thing was free. This thing was free. Well, it wasn't really free. It was like $1. I think I mentioned that. One of the problems we run into is that I don't even know if it works. I'm not even going to be able to know if it works tonight. Okay, so let's get some flex on this. There we go. I'll bend that down. And that is soldered. Perfect? No. This is was an old kit. I've had it for like 30 years, and it's for soldering hard to solder things. And there you go. We got the 2 alligator clips. I got to put that on the wire brush to clean it up. And I'll be back in a second. I don't have any vehicle that I can start right now and hook it up to, but when I do, I'll demonstrate it. Right here. Tach and 12 meter. Where's my torch lighter? Got a tire ashtray. I like finding stuff in the dumpster or the trash. Putting them back to work again. Hopefully it'll work. And you'll get to see it working. And now I need to put all my stuff away. I need to unplug my soldering iron, let that cool. I need to put away some of this shrink tubing I never put away. I got a lot of this shrink tubing in all kinds of sizes. Oh, excuse me. A lot of people, let's put it this way. Yeah, I fixed old radios. Got a soldering kit, I got a soldering wick, I got a solder sucker, I've got different tips. Got a wire stripper, got these little useless wires came with it. We got all kinds of crazy stuff. Better? I went through my shed today, drug out a bunch of tools, took out my heavy-duty jack. I got my jack stands. Tomorrow I'm going to jack up the Packer, and I'm going to start working on the front end. It's not a lot of work. I mean, it's work, but it's not like I'm rebuilding the whole front end. I'm just rebuilding the bell crank. And for some reason that I can't fathom, this car came with a factory sway bar. Will I make the trash can? Yep. This car came with a factory sway bar, and somebody took it out. Why would you take that out of the car? So when you're driving on the street, the car wants to do this. Yeah. So I have to put that all back in. And one of the clips that holds it in place, that was missing. And you know what else is missing? The rubber bushing that goes to it. And I don't have that bushing. So I'm going to have to fabricate something out of something, at least temporarily, until I can find another bushing. But I'll figure it out. I always do. So, I don't know how long this has been. 10, 15, 20 minutes, I don't know. However long it took to put this thing together here. So next time you see this, I'll be checking it out on my Packard to see if the Tach and dwell meter actually works. And I hope it does, because it'd be nice if it did. So anyway, until next time, I really appreciate you visiting and watching. Later, mater.
Sun sinking slow through the side door screen. Old Jeeves hood up, old familiar scene. Perk pipe singing on the bench by the vice. Quiet summer evening feels just right. Box and a wrench in my pocket, rusting the seam. Tap that fender like I know what it means. Black coffee bitter in a chipped up cup. One more bow tied and she's gonna wake up. Hear that screen door squeak, feel that warm night air. Ain't much better than a garage out there. I take one more sip, then I nod my head. This old day still working for I head to bed. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Good old boy smile as the shadows fall. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Old cars, hot steel, and the summer night falls. With a little western twang, greased rag hanging from a nail in the frame. I coax that engine like a stubborn old mule. When she coughs alive, man, that feels cool. Hear that screen door squeak, feel that warm night air. Ain't much better than a garage out there. Then I nod my head. This old day still working for I head to bed. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Good old boy smile and a steady hand to haul. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Old cars, hot steel, and the summer night falls. Moon on the hood, tools lined up neat. Been a long, hard week, but I got all I need. One more turn and the motor finds its song. Then I lean back grinning where I still belong. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Good old boy smile and a steady hand to hold. Coffee in the garage, coffee in the garage. Old cars, hot steel, summer night falls, coffee in the garage. Coffee in the garage, let the nighttime fall, while the porch light glows.